Alright, we're getting back on the 61 Sporty motor. So I've been pulling everything out and getting it lined up here to use. What the hell are they doing down there? Someone's having fun. I'm going to get all the hardware laid out here so I can figure out what goes where. So I'm going to redo these drain plug holes. I got them, I JB welded these up the last week. So it's been sitting. Should be dry by now. So this one here I think will take a stock plug. Threads are still in there. So still got 1/2 inch 13 thread. This one up here is supposed to be a 1/2 inch 13 thread, same as this. Except this one's been hogged out to bigger than a 9/16. So I have to go to something else. So I think they had this jammed in there. Be my guess. So I don't think we're going to be able to use that anymore. So this is timing hole plug, small diameter. It's 5/8, so that can go in there and seal that up possibly. So I got to see what thread is left in this thing after I clean it up. If I can make it a 9/16 thread like this, I'll use a 9/16. I'm not much for putting chrome plated hardware on here though, so we'll find out if it fit or not. If not, we'll do something else. So this is the a new plug here, which looks a lot better than the old one, which I thought I yanked out already, but not sure. There it is. I had this piece of crap on there. It's all ground on. So I think I probably wouldn't mind having a nice new one. This quality stuff looks a lot better than old nasty stuff. And if we use this for the bottom drain plug, I'll put a brand new timing hole plug in there. So we'll see. Otherwise I'm going to use my Dorman plug, which is still laying over in the box someplace. Should be right around in here someplace. There it is. So there's the number. If anybody can find them anymore. I assume they still have them. There's a price I used to charge back in the 90s. So these used to come in a couple different ways. You had the plastic washer, or you had a solid copper washer. I've had issues with both. Kind of lean toward the plastic one, but the copper one looks a hell of a lot better when you put it on. But I don't have any more copper ones. Looks like I got a raw one. So anyway, we'll see if we can put that in there instead of this thing here, which does not look nearly as good. So we'll see. The other thing I'm going to have to do is glue this in. This is our transfer plug over here. Goes in there. So what you do is you weld them up on this side. This side there's a whole big valve that goes up and down. So if you just weld up that little hole right there in the middle, it's the whole plunger goes up and down. That whole 1/2 inch diameter plunger is free to move. So you have to weld up the whole thing completely, or you just weld it from the back side. What you don't want to do is weld it in the case, because you can split the case wide open. If you start putting heat right in this one area, it'll break. It'll crack through here, it'll crack through here. Wherever the weak link is, it might go that way. Who knows? It'll crack. It might go from here to here to here. You never know. So when you're going to do welding, pull things out. Don't leave them in your cases. You only weld on case if you heat up the whole case. If the whole case is hot, then you can weld it in the case. But you got to preheat the whole thing. It's easier to pull the plug out. Now we have these 2 copper washers here. I don't know what they're for. Sure there's a good excuse for them. Here's the Harley, goes in front of the oil pump here. They did not put a washer on these, and those don't look like they'll fit either. Good. Somebody didn't do it wrong. I'm assuming this one went off of this hole here. And this little small one here that's incorrect, I assume was on this one. Hey, look at that. Seems like it might fit. Not a big fan of those. Now this one we might use on this plug here, maybe. Make it work. Who knows? Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this in my mill, and we're going to do a little cutting. First thing I do, I got to make room over there. Right now I got a plate sitting up on there, so I got to get a vise up on there. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, over at the mill. So I got two ways of holding this in here. I can put a vise in here, which is that big one right there. And I can clamp it on these studs right here and hold the case up and do these two hole repairs real quick. Or I can put this on the face plate here, or angle plate, and bolt of that and get my straight up and down measurement or holding fixture. This will be a lot stronger this way, and it won't damage the threads on the studs. So we'll try this way first. See how it works. Makes a lot of noise. Let's see. Got a bunch of dowels we got to deal with here that are going to be a problem. Yep. So as expected, it doesn't work very well. We have a dowel pin here, a dowel pin here, and a dowel pin down here. One of these two needs to be not here, or one of these three, in order to do it that way. So that's too much work. So we're going to do it the old way. Use the vise. It's easier. Alright, moist so don't bang into it. Vise is heavy. Oop. Leave that stuff in there. Ah. Yep. Gotta eat your Wheaties in the morning. Okay. I can't think of any reason to keep this thing laying here anymore. I've been using it a lot for other things lately, but it's getting to be just in the way. Let's see, I can probably work around it though. That goes right there. I don't think so. I think we have enough travel. Time to get this out of the way. I tend to work around things if they're set up. But at some point it becomes a pain, so time to make a change. Alright, one change. Everything's heavy around here. Oh, we got room now. Look at that. How'd that happen? Alright. That was it. Thought there was another nut. Just eyeball in on the groove off the table. Usually close enough on these deals. Pretty good at getting within a few thou pretty quickly. Alright. Close enough. This doesn't have to be perfect. We'll be recentering everything anyway. If I cared, I would sweep the surface here, but I'm not that critical right now. I'm just going to pinch on these two studs here. Should get a lot of grief about doing that. Oh well. Looks like I'm going to have to go all the way down here because we're so far up in the air. Might run out of room too. Hopefully not. We'll be close. It's gonna be fun going back up. Something's crunching down there. I can hear it. What is it? Nothing important. All right. Short drill, huh? Okay, we're gonna get this halfway close and flatten this here. Let's take our digital level here. Assuming these surfaces are all square, that should get us pretty close. Enough to do what I need to do for torque. I have a smooth face jaws down here, so it's not doing much damage to anything. .01 should be close enough for what I need. Alright. First thing I'm going to do is get that flattened out, I guess. Both sides. I can use an end mill to do it, which takes a lot of pressure and makes the case want to move around. We're going to use a fly cutter. So I can use a face cutter like this, which is got carbide bits. That has relatively low pressure, but there is pressure involved. So that is a good option though. We can get a single point like this, which has very, very low pressure because it has just a little single bit hitting. So this one works the best for crappy installations like this. Otherwise known as this is not safe. Perfect for me. Now if we cut this direction, the bit will hit and push it that way. If it's on the other side, it'll pull me this way. So depending on which way you want the chips to go, if you like getting chips in your face, go this direction. You want the chips to go that direction, then you go this way. Me, I like to stand behind the chips so they go in the opposite direction. So I'm going to start right here and go this direction here. Okay, there's a little bit of a lip right here we're going to cut off. So that'll be a sure sign that something's been modified in here. But I'm okay with that. Because the drain plug's nowhere near stock either. That's another sure sign that somebody's been doing something in here. Alright, so where's my zero at? It's like zeroing out my stuff. There's zero. So you go down till you touch, tighten that down, back that off about 50 thou. See, we're not touching, it's good. Now the other thing you got to pay attention is your load. If you're cutting off center like this, it's going to dig into it and pull it that way a little bit and then push it this way at the same time. If you hit it more straight, it's more just a straight action going like this. It's a little bit less of an angle. This has more of an angle, more contact surface. So I like to setting things up a little bit like this. It'd be a little easier. You want to go high speed also. So this is not high speed, this is low speed. And this is high speed up here. There, it's 1500. That's higher speed. Okay, next thing we're going to do is adjust our speed down here. See how much we got. That is 80. We did not touch yet. Go down right there. Hear it touching. Big cut. Alright. Another 5 or so. Gauge our power feed. Alright. Back it up a little. Another 5 more. Turn this down a little bit on the feet, a little better finish. The hole doesn't chatter so bad. See if you can feel any height difference. Not really. Pretty close. 5 more thou right there. Now it's cleaning. Barely. Okay, so you can see I didn't quite clean right there, not quite right here. Cleaned pretty good all the way across. So you can see that's barely cleaning over in that area. Okay, so we're going to give that about another 3 thou or so more. There's 3 more. See if that's enough to clean it. Dampener. Vibration dampening. Didn't quite clean that little edge right there. A little kitty right there. So I'll give it a couple more. There's not 2.5 thou more. Feels pretty smooth. Alright, that looks pretty good. So you can see how we still got a lot of goo right here. That's all JB weld from there out because it was all broken away. Alright, so at least that's flat from there across though. Okay, I'm good with that one. Now I can go over and touch this one. Now this one you gotta be careful we don't dig into anything. Looks a little higher. Let's get the run out of travel over here. I think we're good. We got this much more to go here. We got just enough up there. Yeah, it's about the same height. Look at that. Okay, that should not be a problem. We're cutting on that. Boom. JB welder cutting. A little bit of aluminum over there. Alright. A little bit off center. Crank it over a little bit. Another 5 thou. Feed backwards on it. A little more cutting pressure doing it this way, but saves me time. Alright, so you can see how we're barely hitting something there. We're hitting on this side here, we're not hitting over here. And the hole's not quite cleaned yet, the top gasket surface. So we can go down a little bit more. So always turn that on. Get another 5 thou right there. Chemistry clean. Looks like we're cleaning pretty good. A little spot didn't clean there. We'll come back and do that again. Pretty even though. There we go. Another crank that way. Alright. We've got another 3 or so right there. About 3.5 thou. I won't take any more than I have to. Looks like we're cleaning pretty good. And just about everything. Close enough. Alright. Nice and smooth. There's a little speck right there we didn't quite clean, but I think that's close enough. Always give another couple of thou. It's a little bit light through here also, but the washer is going to seal on top of all this JB weld. So I think we're okay on that. Alright, so we don't cut no more than we have to, which is how I like doing it. So put that back up. So see how your single point works pretty good. Very low pressure. Because this is not a very good setup here. Definitely not something I'll be hogging on.